All right, Steve, here we go. This is what they call El Cuatro, the fourth episode.
Can't believe we got here this quick.
I know. Isn't that funny?
You're having a lot of fun, but we got here.
All right, so listen, we are at the D'Vine Gourmet, and we are going to be sitting down today with Darwin, LaShay, and Heather. All three really great interviews. I want to ask you, what stands out about our interview with LaShay?
LaShay, the fact his passion for the rehabilitation of the veterans.
There it is.
You could obviously tell everything about him is about that.
Yeah. If you have a veteran in your life, especially one that's struggling, stick around for this interview today with LaShay, and I promise you won't be disappointed.
Right.
And then we moved on. We sat down with Darwin Wall, one of the bigger people I've ever interviewed in my life. He's a big guy, like 6'4", like strong.
We call a big boy.
Yeah. Like I don't want and he's like farm strong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like he's gym strong, but he's also like farm strong.
Like you can't move him strong. Like a tractor, if you're talking about
he's a real estate agent who's got a really cool pub crawl called Save Second Base. And in there, we confirmed the rumors about what does second base mean. So stick around for that.
Yes.
And then finally, our Move the Needle interview was with Heather. And she's been an educator for almost 30 years. And I'll tell you that for me personally, her approach to how she handles her profession is the thing that stood out.
I mean, she hands-on. I mean,
that's it.
I mean, she's in the mix
from the beginning. Like she tells a story about picking up a kid when she was back, like getting started when she was in her early 20s,
right?
Picking him up and bringing him to school.
Mm-hmm. And for an executive, and where she's gone, and still telling a story what happened last week, fairly recently, still doing that same thing. So how long ago was that? So it sounds like that's
at least 15 minutes.
So it's right, yeah. So exactly. So it sounds like that was the beginning and a continuation of this. Like you said, she's rolled up her sleeves and is very involved.
All right. You are in for a great treat today.
I think so.
So please, we're going to take a minute and we're going to pay some attention and some love to our sponsors, the people that help us do this Move the Needle podcast each and every week.
Right.
And right after that, we'll jump into our fourth episode, recorded live from the D'Vine Gourmet. See you in a minute. Here we go, Steve. How you feeling, buddy?
I feel great. We have some wonderful people, and we've got a wonderful place that's hosting here, and love it.
Let's get it off, man. We are here at the D'Vine Gourmet in Chandler. We're right downtown. This place is spectacular. If you've never been here before, you have to come in. I think this is the spot where you come to buy the gift that's going to be a little different than anything you buy at Target. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I say boutique-ish, but wine... local.
Yeah, thanks for the caramels, by the way. Those are tremendous.
Caramels, candy, espresso beans, chocolates. It seems like they got all snakes.
We put a snake on there for those that are watching on YouTube. I think we should welcome everybody to our Move the Needle podcast. This is a community-centric podcast that's geared towards small business owners to help them raise their profile. And each and every week, we sit down with a local legend. We sit down with a rising star. We sit down with somebody that we think is moving the needle. And so to work backwards, forwards today, we're going to be working with Heather in just a little bit, who's our Move the Needle interview. We've got Darwin Wall, who's our local legend, and we're going to start today. LaShay is a former U.S. Marine, and he's got this thing that you were talking about a couple of minutes ago. Welcome to our podcast officially.
Thank you very much. Honored to be here.
Where'd you grow up, LaShay? Is this home? Is Arizona home?
No, Arizona is not home. I'm from Gainesville, Florida, but actually I have to tell people Gainesville because if I tell you the actual town I'm from, it's really, really small. Stark, Florida. Yeah. So it's like a little small
Never been
town.
there.
Kind of like Apache Junction almost, but maybe a little bit smaller.
What about the population and age? Like same demographics?
Yeah, same demographics, yeah. One stoplight, one stop sign, one high school, one elementary school, one middle school, and we say hey, yeah, and yeehaw.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. You still doing that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good for him. Yeah. So when did you come to Arizona?
Man, about 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, 2007.
And you fill up your days doing what now?
I fill up my days right now running Operation Thrive. I'm the co-founder of that. It's a veterans nonprofit where we help veterans help them with the triggers of PTSD and coming on the other side happy and feeling empowered.
Man, that's so important. I talk about it all the time. My brother served 4 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And he's really, it's been very tough for him to put it all back together.
I can only imagine. Yeah. Come back different each time.
Each time. Mm-hmm. I mean, the first one was tough. The second one was brutal. The third one put the nail in the coffin, and I don't even know why they sent him back for a fourth, right? But it's clear to me that, okay, damage is done. Now it's time to get into repair mode.
Time for the repair.
Yeah, give people community, something to lean on. So that's what you're trying to do?
Yes, sir. That's where Operation Thrive come in. Our goal is healing through movement. For me, getting out of the Marines, it was hell on earth. Like transitioning. There's a lot of places that don't have transition centers like Chandler, Arizona, to be exact. Yeah. So I'm on the Veterans Commission Board for the city of Chandler, and that's one of the things we're working on now, trying to create a transition center to help veterans when they come out in Chandler, because right now you have to go to Gilbert or Phoenix.
So what does that mean? What does that mean, help them when they come out? I'm going to drill down.
Transition, like how to find a job, how to put it bluntly, how to be a human again.
Yeah.
How to be a human again. You basically, regardless of what branch you go in, you're pretty much, quote unquote, a trained killer. And now it's like, oh, we're trying to teach you how to be a human, try to be a productive member of society again. Because when I got out, it was like I lost, when I got out in Florida, I lost about 2 or 3 jobs because I honestly didn't know how to communicate with my coworkers or talk to my boss, or like, because I was a sergeant in the Marines. It's like, oh, you want me to do what? That is so stupid. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, so just trying to transition and be a productive member of society.
What are some of the things? Sorry to keep asking them some questions, but what are some of those things that are like that are differentiators between civilian life and military life that are tough for people to transition with?
For civilian life, like when I was a manager at a restaurant, if I couldn't tell you to go do something, I had to politely ask you, would you please go and wait on that table or grab those dishes off that table? We're in the military. Hey, I need you right now to go over there and get that and come right freaking back right now in a timely manner. Yeah.
And Jenny from Gilbert doesn't really like that.
No, Jenny from Gilbert doesn't understand that at all. You know, man. Instead of saying yes sir and no sir, it's like, oh, what?
Yeah, yeah, that's
nobody talks to me that way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I want to know. So, obviously, getting through what you have gone through, what has built that resilience? Who's the people behind you? Who is that inspirational person that drove you from where you were to start this endeavor, to be so passionate about your fellow veterans? Tell me about who those people were, or who that person was.
Well, there's a few people, but the one that sticks out the most is my mom. I call her Mama Shirley.
Okay.
She's actually my aunt who raised me. She's my brother's sister. Okay. So she's kind of like take care of all the kids in the family. And she helped raise me. She was blind since the age of 11 or 12. Like
fully blind, or like one of these people that's legally blind but can see some
things? You know what?
I
I thought that she was faking a lot, but no, she used to ride. We joke about this now. She used to ride a 3-wheel bike, a trike, uptown and get groceries and ride back. We were like, what? There's no way she's blind. No way. But we were like growing up with waving her face, like do all kind of stuff, and she wouldn't blink or flinch. But yeah, no, she was legally blind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing heightened her sense of hearing.
Oh, she heard everything.
Everything.
You couldn't get away with nothing.
And what did you take? What's your biggest takeaway? What do you say like right today? What's that piece that she gave you that you still carry today? That's what I want to know.
Oh man, I'm getting chills thinking about it now. Her can-do attitude and her resilience.
Yes.
So like regardless of what was in front of her, like we never heard her say she can't do this, she can't do this. Like the word can't was not in her vocabulary. It's like push forward.
From a fully blind person. From a fully blind person.
No excuses.
Right. What inspiration that, I mean. Right in front of your face. Amazing.
Yeah, but you know, like, how did that play out for you in the military? Did you do too much? Because I could see that going another way, right? Like where you jump into too many things because you got that can-do attitude.
Yeah, sometimes you did jump into too many things, but I felt like when I went to the Marines, I was already prepared.
Yeah.
Like whatever the drill instructor yelled or screamed, I was like, been there, done that.
Nice.
Like next, keep it moving. Because she was firm but compassionate. I don't
Marine,
want to say
Marine
strict.
ready. Marine
Yes.
ready. Yeah. Nice.
Did you have brothers and sisters in the military as well?
Yes, my brother Patrick
Okay.
was in a Navy SEAL, and that's the only sibling I have. I have a bunch of uncles. That Uncle Steve was Army Ranger and a few Air Force.
Do you
and
guys
Army.
argue like who's a bigger badass, the Marine or the Navy SEAL? Does that come
Always,
up? Does that come up? Okay.
always. But my brother is the baddest.
You think so?
I'm not gonna lie, yeah.
What is it? Why? Because he's in the SEAL? Because
I
of the
don't
training?
think- well, because he's just my big brother,
Okay.
and yeah, it's just that big brother, little brother thing. Yeah,
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough to overcome. I
Yes,
know my
it
little
is.
brother tried that once too.
I tried many a times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
many times.
Even now to this day, I think he probably. I don't know. I might be able to take him. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so
come on,
either,
you
but
Do you
yeah.
know him?
No, but I just don't think so. He is
He's a little bit bigger,
your
a little bit
first
taller,
answer's-
yeah.
Your first answer is always the right answer. He said, "No way, my brother." That's the right answer. Now he's trying to put himself back in play.
Got it.
When he sees this, he might.
He might come
challenge
down
me.
here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. Actually, this is a good transition to talking about physicality. Talk about Operation Thrive. Tell us what you've got going on here in detail, but also tell us how overcoming PTSD, how that translates to what you're doing, how you've seen the actual results. Tell us maybe a specific example of some of the veterans you're working with where this has actually impacted them. And then again, transition to how we're going to start this 5K run here and where it's going.
All right. First of all, healing through movement. That's basically the foundation of anybody in the military. Okay. Fitness. I wanted to bring it back because that's what helped me and overcome my PTSD and my transition was going back to the basics, going back to my foundation, just fitness, just getting out there, running. I fell in love with a race called Spartan Race, Tough Mudder, which like over the years, like transitioned into doing my own events, Operation Thrive. We're going to do our first 5K here with the city of Chandler, November 9th. That's Veterans Day weekend. So all those proceeds going to go into all our initiatives that we're trying to start, our hiking, our kayaking. So if anybody ever wants to donate, we're looking for donors, we're looking for sponsors, whatever.
Where's the start of where are they starting the race?
At the AJ Chandler Park, downtown Chandler.
Okay,
November
good.
9th.
Yes, November 9th.
And then who's open to come and run with you guys?
Everybody's
Anybody?
open.
Yeah.
Walkers, runners, rollers, whatever.
Don't matter.
Yeah,
You
doesn't matter.
You'll take that registration fee. What do you guys do with the money? What's some of these initiatives?
It's going to go. So right now, our first thing is going to be our hiking. Where we're going to have a 3-day kind of like a
retreat.
A retreat.
Yeah.
So those gonna sponsor probably like 4 to 5 veterans. Those funds. We're gonna have like an Airbnb. Have them come in. It's gonna be local because I want to start the roots right here in Chandler. Like so many people want to go here, there, and all out. Right now, I want to start right here in Chandler, Arizona. Take care of home. So Airbnb. We're gonna have a yoga every morning that comes in. We're gonna eat right. We're gonna have like a counselor come in and have everybody talk about vets and stuff. Because for me, it's like I can call 4 vets right now. It's all about the small group because in the military, you have ranks and you have units. So you have 4 ranks and 4 units. So it's just like, it's always small and intimate. So I want to keep it small and intimate with 4 to 8. And then hopefully down the road, we'll build a little bit bigger.
I love it.
Fantastic.
Well, and I want to
Love it
throw
too.
out a challenge, and I've said this for years, so I'm not speaking out of turn, but I know hundreds and hundreds of people who cheer, support the troops, and hundreds of people who put that bumper sticker on the back of their car. Mm-hmm. And I just want to emphatically say to those people, this is how you do it.
Yes.
Putting that sticker on the back of your car is a nice touch.
Right.
But how you really support these guys is to come out and do races like this where they're really going to plug in and get to work with some of these folks. Because I don't know that people understand how much life they've lost due to their experiences in their battles with PTSD.
Right.
I love that you're getting them into nature because you have to.
Yes.
You have to get them out into this serene, quiet place so their head can calm down and they can start to think rationally.
Yep.
And so to me, this is fantastic. And I love the idea of fitness and movement because your mood follows your movement, right?
Exactly.
So if the other thing is like they're used to it. Like it's not a new thing for them.
Right.
They got to do PT from day one.
Day one, yeah.
So it's something that they know about, but now it's in a different context. Now you got people around them that are having different conversations,
Right.
not just
Something they
screaming
can
about.
bond over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I want to so Live X. So how like tell us some live stories. Tell us some feedback. Give us some feedback about.
Oh man, so we have my old unit, Alpha Battery, 1st Battalion, 11th Marines. There's still about 8 to 10 of us that still keep in touch over a group
That's what I want.
text message, and there's a. Give me a minute to collect my thoughts, as it's challenging. There's a lot of text messages that are hard. You know, I've gotten phone calls at like 3 or 4 in the morning where I've had to sit with a fellow Marine, I'm not gonna say his name, and not know what type of danger he was in. He's just saying, I need help. You know, I'm here. For about 2 or 3 hours, I'm here. I got you. Like, what's going on? What are you going through? You know, hey, I got a gun. Like, okay, well, who's in the house? What's going on? Why do you have I'm getting chill bumps thinking about it now. But after those 2 or 3 hours, like, you know, we was able to get through it, and at the end come out laughing and talk about stuff that we went through overseas and everything. And a lot of good stories.
I mean, that's what it's about, the support. And I could tell just your presence and, you know, how you exude yourself, that, you know, you're behind this. I mean, 100%, not 99.9.
1,000%.
Yeah, that's what I can tell.
Right.
You
Well,
know.
and it's important because you know this, being in the club, unless you're in the club,
Right.
it's tough to talk about it.
Yeah,
and
it is.
and you know, like even my brother, it's challenging for him to go there with me.
Right.
Because I quote unquote don't understand.
Don't understand. Yeah, we
Right.
get that a lot.
You hear it all the time
from family members.
Yeah, right. And so okay, well then who are you going to talk to?
Right.
Find somebody.
Yep.
If it's not going to be me, find somebody.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen on November 9th for this Operation Thrive? Like, so people will gather at AJ. They'll start the race. Do you guys have like music? Are you going to speak?
There's going to be live music. I'm going to speak, of course. And right now we're trying to get like a guest speaker to come up there and say like some motivational words and about,
nice.
you know, maybe their journey about Operation Thrive and how it may have helped them or whatnot. And right now, one of the guys I've been working with, and we've been working with each other, Troy Sandoval.
Okay.
He's a Navy veteran and a former cop from Colorado, and we go hiking on Mondays and Sundays when the weather's nice. And the last few years, like knowing him, he's one of the reasons how Operation Thrive started, just with him and I, like having these walks and these talks and, you know, just trying to help each other get through different times in our lives when we don't have somebody else to speak with, you know. And not
keep this going, man.
Yeah.
Keep
Thank you.
this going, you
Appreciate
know.
that.
And the last name is appropriate. This is
Yeah,
a gentleman who's truly trying to leave his mark.
Is there anything you'd like to leave out that you'd like to tell our audience about the event or anything? About
make sure you go to OperationThriveVets.org.
We'll link in the show notes, everybody.
You can donate, find out more about the organization. And also on November 11th over at Bourbon Jack's, we're having our Veterans Day Bash for all veterans. It's kind of like a piggyback off of our Operation Thrive 5K. So November 11th, I believe it's like about 6 or 6:30.
Okay.
So we're going to start it early. So a lot of the older vets, like in Korean War or whatever war they were in, can come in a little bit early, get some dinner, join the festivities. If they want to stay later or whatnot. We're going to have the Commandant of the Marine Corps message that plays every year on the TV, probably like about 8. We got live music,
Cool.
Drink special. So come out, have a good time.
I love this, man.
Yeah.
Keep
Thank
doing
you.
this work.
Yeah.
We need it
Thank
so
you, guys.
much.
And
Appreciate
I
it.
know from all of us, we thank you for your service, and we're proud to have you on for sure. That's
right.
absolutely.
But I'm more proud of the second service than that first one, and I don't mean that to be any other way
Yes.
other than
Oh,
I
yeah.
love what
It's
you're
a
doing, man.
continuation
Like
for
this is really where we need the effort and the work right now.
Thank
because
you.
something you just said really resonated with me, and I've talked about it with my brother a number of times. It's like we grew up and we looked at all those Vietnam vets who came back and just got lost.
Yeah.
And I say to Tim all the time, like, you're not allowed to be one of them.
Right.
Like, there's too many tools out there. There's too many people that want to help out. There's too many people that have the ability to help you out. Like, you just got to lock in with one of these folks.
Yeah, and it's okay to ask for help. I believe that's one of the number one reasons why a lot of veterans get lost, because they are ashamed and they don't want to ask for help. And that's okay to ask for help. That's one of the main things I want to leave here today with. If you're a veteran, you're watching, if you're a family member that's watching and you don't understand what's going on when your veteran comes home, it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
And it's okay to get them help.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Thanks,
you guys.
LaShay.
Keep on keeping
Appreciate
on.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
look at this. I can't salute. I didn't serve, man. It's not allowed. I'll give you a fist bump, though. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
All right, man. You're off the gun. You're off the clock. Thank you so much, everybody.
Who's
Tune
on-
in
now who's on the
November
clock?
9th. You know, I'm not been good with names
But
today.
you've been dying. You've been dying to talk to him, obviously.
So we're going to bring Darwin Wall up to the microphone now. And Darwin is got this really cool experience called Save Second Base. It's a pub crawl. You've done it a couple of times, you said.
Yes.
And
It's a blast.
Darwin's going to be our local legend interview today. So that puts
Here I
a
am.
little bit of pressure on there, huh?
Oh yeah, a little pressure.
The
yes.
local legend.
Local legend. Oh
in
shucks.
the bright pink shirt.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
48.
podcast, man.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. You have a rich Chandler history.
Yeah, I grew up here. I literally grew up a mile away from here. Yeah.
But dads, grandpas,
Second generation Arizona native. Yeah, my mom's from here. My dad came here in junior high from Chicago, so I've been here a long time. Raised my boys here. Yeah.
didn't I hear that your grandfather used to own a clothing shop downtown?
Yeah. Who told you that? That's crazy. You know that. That's nuts. So yeah, Chip Shraney, my grandpa immigrated here from Lebanon. So like Tim and Sabas and Bashes are all like these Lebanese families that came to Chandler. So we had a clothing store around here somewhere. There used to be a Bashes down here. I think it was over there. I know your viewers can't see over there, but yeah, he had a clothing store, Chip Shraney, I think Brothers Clothing Store. And then he went into commercial construction. Yeah, and then my dad worked for him, and he was a custom home builder. Yeah.
Okay. And then what about you? How did you get into your line
Real
of work?
estate?
Yeah.
I got licensed when I was a junior at ASU, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. My dad kind of encouraged me to get your license. I used to clean his homes in high school, clean his job sites, right?
Okay.
So I'm cleaning a house one day, and this guy pulls up in a nice car. He used to build a lot of houses in Ahwatukee Foothills, right? So I'm cleaning up a house. Guy pulls up. I end up just showing him the house because I've been cleaning it for several months and didn't think anything of it, and went home. And my dad's like, "Hey, that guy, he's gonna buy the house. Good job." And I was like, "Really? Wow, it's crazy." So yeah, I think I sold my first house. I didn't get commission for it at the time, but when I was in high school.
That's so awesome.
So I went before in jumping in to your past. I want to know about the hockey. Where did you? Yeah, I want to know about your hockey. He's another hockey fanatic.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. I grew up here, so hockey wasn't here until the Coyotes came in '96.
Right.
And
So I
was
run
already
the
in
Desert Vista High School hockey
Okay,
program.
I know you look familiar. Yeah,
Yeah.
my kids played for DUI, both of them. Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Or you're Desert Vista. Okay,
I was
the high
Desert
school.
Vista.
Okay,
They played for Sun Devils.
DUI Sun Devils.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Firebirds back in the day.
Yeah.
You know.
So did my son, Firebird.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. They were Bobcats, Devils, Firebirds, Knights, the whole everything, all over the place. Even Vosha with Jim Rogers up in
Oh, yeah.
Arcadia. If you guys
Jimmy
remember
Jimmy
that
Rogers.
name, that's a
Yes.
blast from the past. Yeah.
God rest
Are
his
they
soul.
still playing?
They're playing men's league. My oldest, Caleb, was a goalie. He was an 02. You guys know
Okay.
hockey years. It's 02. I have an 02 and an 05, Caleb and Jackson. Caleb was a goalie. He played juniors in St. Cloud, Minnesota, mainly in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
All right.
They
My
play-
first radio job was in St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been there, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, with him.
St.
but,
Cloud State's a great college for
Yeah,
hockey.
yeah. It's big
Okay,
time.
but so how did this come about? I mean, you're in the desert. I mean, where was hockey when you were growing up? Where did this come about?
I had them in all sports. I wanted them just to play all sports and see what they liked, you know. And I played baseball, football, basketball growing up, just like everybody. Didn't play hockey because I wasn't here. My parents weren't driving me. There was no 101 freeway.
But
They
were
weren't driving me.
you a fan then, or were you watching hockey out here?
My dad got split season tickets with a Canadian buddy when the Coyotes first came here in
Okay.
'96. So I liked watching it. I was a casual fan. I liked the fights, but I didn't know the rules, right? So the boy's father-in-law grew up in upstate New York. So
There it
he
is.
got there.
My neck of the woods.
Yes,
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah. They wanted to do it, and I was like, I don't know anything about this sport,
Other than I'm writing big checks.
Yeah,
right.
traveling a lot.
Big checks
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah, I started directly, got into travel, but and then the oldest was at a summer camp in Chandler, and you guys know Kurt Gore, and he
Yes.
was running the camp, and Caleb wanted to put on all the goalie pads like all kids do, and I'm in the back throwing the pads on him. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, and I come pick him up later in the day at summer camp, and he's like, "You got a pretty good goalie on your hands now." So. That's how
that
it
was
started.
That was
yeah.
it. Oh.
So,
That was
my
it.
son is a senior now. He's 18. He's
about
playing
you.
at TV, and he started off as a player and then switched to goalie when he was about 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
And I remember calling then. I was working for the Arizona Coyotes, and I called Tyson Nash, and I said, "Hey, man, my son wants to play goalie. Give me some feedback. Give me some tips." And he said, "Go out in a like a what do you call it, like a drop in." Start firing pucks at him, and I want you to hit him in the head intentionally.
Yeah.
And if he asks for more, he really wants to be a goalie. And if he doesn't, then you're going to have your answer right there. And I felt bad. Oh God, this is terrible
You
to
let
admit
one
on the
whistle?
camera.
You went and whistle?
And I let one rip, and I hit him right in the cage. And he shook it off, and he stacked right up and got right back in there,
with it.
and he was ready to go.
There
Okay.
you go.
He doesn't play goalie anymore, but still,
He's smart. Maybe you knocked a little sense into him.
I don't know. I asked my
I'm just-
goalie the other day because we hit him in
I don't know.
the head with a hard puck, and I was like, "Does it hurt?" And he said, "No, it's just kind of like it's a heavy thud."
It's been dating about 10 years ago in a men's league drop-in. My buddies somehow, I don't know how, convinced me to throw the pads on a men's league.
Why would
These
you do
guys are
that?
all. I don't know how. Whatever. I got in there. I was in there for 5 minutes. My buddy, take it easy. He whistled one over my shoulder. I said, "I'm out."
Yeah.
That's like a bullet. I do have a lot of respect for goalies. It's
a tough position to play, right?
Yeah. Besides the goalie's mom, that is the toughest
Well,
position.
and the goalie's dad, and the goalie
Yeah,
parents have
yeah,
it
it's the
hard.
goalie's mom, the goalie's dad, and then the goalie. For
You
sure.
watch a lot of games by yourself, you know.
Yeah.
You don't sit in the crowd
Lone-
because the goalie. You stay-
lonely days.
Tune out the noise.
Because
you know?
you can't handle the noise.
No, luckily
Yeah.
it was good, but
those
they're
poor
either the
people.
hero
Oh,
or
man.
the
Anyways.
villain, you know.
Let's talk a little bit about Save Second Base.
Okay, yes.
I want to know, you got the T-shirt on.
Yes.
Save Second Base. I'm thinking back to when I was an adolescent, and if I'm not mistaken, second base was going up the shirt.
That's right. That's
And I think that's still probably the case. I don't know. Is that where this comes in? Is this a breast cancer movement?
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Save the boobies.
Yeah, there it is.
Save the tatas. I'll
Yeah.
try to
Okay.
keep it PG here
Yeah.
for you guys, but
okay.
yeah, we started it. This is the 11th year. So last year was the 10th anniversary.
Wow, man.
So yeah, we just started it down here. A guy I worked with, Hunter, and we wanted to do something to give back to the community and fun and for our clients and friends and family, and it's just grown and grown and grown. It's pretty crazy.
So cool.
Amazing. And on that, I want to, since you've done it for so long,
Yeah.
I know you've got many, but I want to dive in before we get to the fun stuff. I'm sure we got some fun stories to
Yeah.
share. Tell me about somebody that you've encountered, one of the participants that really moved you, that's really kind of kept this going.
question.
I'm sure they're all worthy, but what there's had to be something.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Obviously, like you said, two of them stick out. Rachel Ivy, we did it for her 4 or 5 years ago, and she came and like I'll never forget. Like she introduced herself to like everybody and like literally everyone and thanked them for coming and everyone remembers that. And I remember that real vividly. And she had a good time and her friends came and her family and her son came. It was pretty cool. Yeah. And then last year we had Susie Perez and she's grew up here in Chandler and kind of the same deal. Brought her whole family, her parents, and and it's cool because they come back like the next year and they help support it and push it out. And so, yeah, those two were the ones that stick out the most.
What do you do with the proceeds from
We
your event?
donated all to the 100% of it to the beneficiary. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Help them pay their, if they have insurance, we don't know if they have it. If they don't, if it usually doesn't cover everything. They have bills. So just give it
You're
all to them.
diving. You're not. This isn't like, hey, we're tossing money at Coleman Research. This is like we're giving it to the families.
So we
to
did
help
that the
out.
first year. We wrote
Yeah.
a check, and it just was like, this is lame. And then
I agree.
it's
This is way more
Get
impactful.
it
Yeah.
right to the person.
Yeah, and it's a
Love it.
501c3 now, so we get sponsors, and it's totally legit. And 501c3.
You want to talk about some of your sponsors?
We have a lot of sponsors. Most of them come back. God,
Who's been anybody with you from the beginning?
Fenton Insurance. Peter Fenton with Farmers Insurance has been there from the beginning. My title company, Magnus Title, has been there.
Nice.
God, who else? Elliot Williams, my lender friend I grew up with here. He's been a sponsor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
What happens on the pub crawl? Do you guys? Where do you meet up? Where do you go?
That.
When is the next opportunity to?
So yeah, it's in October, Breast Cancer Month.
Sure.
It's October 19th. So we start at noon. So it's day drinking, right? Which us old guys like. So
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we start at we're starting at the Perch at noon, which is on the north end of downtown Chandler.
Love the Perch.
The Perch is awesome, yeah. And then we're gonna work our way south, and there's 8 bars. It's $75 a ticket, and it's a free drink at each bar. You know what I mean? And then they get this shirt. State 48 does a nice shirt for it. This is last year's shirt. There's a new one that's on the social media page and whatnot. And then we do swag bags as well. Yeah, and the sponsors all put something in the swag bags, usually a hat, some sunglasses, and fun stuff.
So tell us about let's go through the pub crawl. Let's do a shout out to all those establishments. You started the Perch. Let's go through them. Let's walk.
Is he going to remember this? You're putting him on the spot.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Perch. We're gonna go DTC, which is the old local Stillery. We go Rec Rio. La Ristra, Craft 64, Courthouse, and I'm missing one. Who is it?
This is impressive.
Murphy's
I can't believe
Law?
you're getting this. Yeah.
No, they're usually on. They're out this year. Oh man, I can't believe I don't remember. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It'll come to me later.
That's a tough question. That was a tough question. I was nervous for you as soon as he.
Sorry about that. But I figured we want to we give some of them.
Might
a
have just
shout out.
lost a bar stop.
Damn.
Sorry.
Well,
Maybe you'll get another one. Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, but so now let's get to the fun stuff. Let's get a little hijinks. There's got to be. 11 years of pub crawling.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple.
Yes.
You're starting a day drink. This thing goes out. People don't stop. Then there's got to be some funny stuff going on. Tell me. Let's hear some.
All right, let's go.
Because let's mix. This is serious charity. A serious
What are you looking
cause.
for? Like who got naked or like who
Maybe
got in trouble?
It's no holds bar. What was fun? There's got to be funny.
What kind of
stories.
shenanigans are we
Let's hear a
talking
funny story.
I was thinking about this the other night, and I was asking my wife, like, what kind of stories can I tell? You know? So,
Yeah.
You got to be careful here, right?
Yeah,
Like, you got to tell the
No
kind of
name. Well,
story.
as long as we don't mention names.
Yeah,
no names.
We're protecting innocent. We can
so
tell stories. Right?
There's a few. So one year, it's only rained on us one year, knock on wood.
Okay,
So
that's
one year
good.
it is raining like cats and dogs, like crazy, right? There's a big retention base in front of what is now DTC. It was the local back then.
Okay.
And, buddy of mine has had 2 minutes to drink. He steps in the water, and it goes up to like his waist, and he's soaking wet.
Now, that's a funny story.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
And
That's
it's nice and gentle.
I could tell by the tone. There's probably others, but that's good because we want people to look forward to some fun. It's not again like it's a pub crawl, and you may see somebody fall in you fall in a
Yeah, but
sinkhole.
I would think
I don't know.
most people at a charity pub crawl, they're probably practicing some restraint.
Yeah,
like
it's
this
pretty-
isn't Friday night out with the
No.
buddies when I'm 22.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
no, not
Wait
at
a
all.
second, Darwin. I've
Yeah.
been there a couple times.
Did you let the wheels fall off?
She said, not me, but anyways, it's a
Yeah.
trust me, it's a blast.
It's
It is
pretty
not.
tame.
It's pretty. Yeah,
But
pretty
we've had
tame.
people get lost, and a couple other stories I have. but
It's
yeah.
tame for it's tame for like it's not like Animal House so to get you straight, but
Not a frat
it is.
party,
right.
But it's not a frat party. But it is fun. People are in groups, groups of 5, groups of 10, even groups of 20.
Yeah.
Cheering it up.
What's the easiest way to
have
sign
a
up?
Great time.
SaveSecondBasePubCrawl.com is the easiest way to sign up. Everything's on there. The beneficiaries, all 8 of the bar stops. The sponsors are on there. There's videos on there from the past and photos, and there's Facebook, Instagram pages. So it's out there. Yeah.
Who's
But yeah.
who's like the optimal person to jump into this? Is it like a couples thing? Is it a guy's thing? Is it a girl's thing? Like what tends to happen?
Kind of all of the above.
Yeah, okay.
There's not like a certain specific demographic. It brings the community together, but we get people from all over that come, the Valley.
What about former Marines? Are they invited?
Yeah, he's been there. My man's been there before.
LaShay already bought his ticket.
LaShay's been there before.
He's there.
He's a regular.
All right, you're in, man. You're in. I got you in. Yeah.
So is Denise and Andrew. I know that.
Oh yeah, they're big supporters.
That's
but it's cool. It
awesome.
brings the community together, and everyone supports it. And there'll be people hanging out at the bars that day watching college football, and they're like, "What are you guys doing?" And we tell them they buy a ticket and get a shirt and the whole thing.
Do they really?
Yeah. So
That's
it's
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Well, you can feel good about it.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Fills the heart up, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's truly a lot of fun. It really is.
It's
It's
a
a
good
lot of fun.
time, yeah.
And we appreciate your support for the community, what you do with your charity, and also this show. We're talking about bringing the Darwin Wall real estate team to
Be the smartest thing we ever did.
to be a supporter of the show. So
honored. It'd be
we're
great.
we're excited about that.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for being
Hey,
our
I
guest
want to
today.
offer you guys as viewers a promo code, $10
All right.
off. Is that
Look,
cool? Can I do
which
that?
camera should I look at? Right there? Look
All
right in that camera.
So,
Tell them what you
promo
want.
code $10 off. So tickets are $75. So you get it for $65. Move the needle. All one word. Your guys' promo code. Yeah.
Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you,
All right.
Doug.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
Anything else? We'll be good to go.
I think that's it, man.
All right.
Hopefully
We'll see you
come
there,
out.
right?
Yeah, we'll have a good time. Yes,
October
absolutely.
19th.
October
The
19th.
link will be in our show notes. Thank you very much, Darwin, for stopping
Thank you.
by.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Darwin.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks.
All right, man.
Thanks, guys.
Nice work. Nice work. You know what I think about when I look at Darwin, Steve? He's a big guy. He's got some muscles. There's a guy who's obviously seen a gym once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Do you remember this movie? It was with The Rock and somebody else, and it with Kevin Hart.
Oh,
and
yes.
Kevin looks at him and he's like, "Damn, how'd you get so big?" And he goes, "I only did one thing." And the guy's like, "What's that?" He goes, "I went to the gym every day for 4 hours for 20 years."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I don't know if that is that you, Darwin, or is you were born like that 1 hour?
1 hour. Yeah,
Okay.
1 hour. All right, good stuff. Well, now it's time to get to the conclusion of our podcast with our Move the Needle guest, and we're going to bring Heather in just a second. I want to give a shout out real quick to the D'Vine Gourmet for having us here today.
Yes, beautiful.
I mean, this is my new hotspot. I love this place, and now anytime I have to buy, I'm serious about this, any gift for anybody, my wife especially, my mother-in-law, these thank you gifts for people for cat sitting and dog sitting and all these things. This is it. This is where you come to get something kind of cool.
Pick up a couple bottles of wine too.
That's on the other side,
yes,
isn't it?
They got a nice little wine selection.
I've been just chewing on caramels.
Caramels, a little of everything. I think you said it best.
Yes. So, Heather, before we jump into this conversation with you, say your last name so we don't do it to disservice.
Anguiano.
Anguiano. So we were gonna G you.
Yes.
I told you. Yeah. Yes.
I've heard the
Anguiano.
G, but Anguiano.
Anguiano.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Executive Director of the Elementary Education, Executive Director for which school district?
Chandler Unified.
That's it. How long you been doing that?
3 years in this position, and I've been with Chandler for 27 years.
That seems like a long time.
It's a long time. Yes, a very long time. I don't know what's longer, the 27 or the 3.
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to talk to you about a lot of things because, any of us who started a career, 30 years ago, it looks a lot different then than it does now.
Absolutely.
And I know that my own experience with youth hockey coaching, the kids are different. Just in the last 18 years, the kids are different.
Yes.
Is that probably the most dramatic change you've seen? Is just in how the children are maybe not, I don't want to just load on them like they behave bad, they act bad, all the things, but they're just different. Their learning styles are different. The way that they treat each other is different. The way that they interact with each other is different because now they're on social media.
Yes. I mean, social influences, access, we didn't have the access that they have now.
Right.
So that is a big difference. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's night and day. I mean, don't you notice that with your own kids?
My kids I saw this evolution, Matthew and Heather, up close. My son went to high school from 2011 to 2015, and that was, if you really look back, that was the first year of the iPhones. Oh. So I was also a coach involved with Matthew, and I literally saw, in my opinion, in the locker room, because I was coaching before, where I would call it old school, the hockey banter to the switch to the iPhone. I saw in front of my eyes. So I literally year to year to his year when he graduated, I went to the earbuds and everybody in the locker room a little silent. So I saw the change, and so good, bad, or whatever it is, there was a change.
Is that the biggest battle for you guys? Is the cell phone the biggest battle for you guys?
I would say cell phones coupled with just social media and social media influences. It's easier access. It's immediate gratification. So
they're
the
one and the
remote
same.
control,
Yeah.
you hit a button, you are immediately gratified, whatever that gratification may be.
I thought I saw in the news maybe just yesterday, the day before, there was a school district here locally that has banned the phones, and people are losing their biscuits about it. And by people, I mean parents.
Right.
Because they're like, how am I going to get in touch with them? It's like, well, you're going to call the office just like we did in 1992.
From the beginning of time before the cell phones, actually.
Right, yes. So really just looking at what do we do to keep students safe, and what policies do we put in place that are consistent? With Chandler, we're a K-12 district, so your needs of kindergarten are different than your needs at 9th grade, and just the structure of the day. So yeah, it's definitely a conversation that we're engaging in.
And imagine we're talking about this today. I had one of my major questions is, where do you see this going? I know you're
Where do you see what going?
Your boots on the ground. This what we're talking about, education with these kids. Where is it going in the next decade? Where is it moving towards?
I just don't even think we know what will exist in 5-10 years.
That's what I was getting at. It's so
right. I mean, it's just constantly evolving. Now we have AI and what impact that's playing on students and what other students are doing with AI. So yes, cell phones definitely need to be addressed, but we don't know what's going to happen in 5-10 years with technology and how that's going to impact education and then the social realm with students.
Okay, here's what I want to ask you, Heather. It would be so easy to just beat up everybody about all the new things that are coming in, but I like to say, and I even say it to my own kids that I coach, there's a lot of good things happening in today's world too.
100%.
There's a lot of really incredible kids that are doing incredible things. So what are you seeing from that lens? What are they getting right? What are they doing better than we did?
I think as educators, or I know as educators, we're doing a good job of providing wraparound services and providing experiences beyond the school day. It's about relationships. So it's finding teachers and administrators who have those relationships with students. So how do you create those relationships? So looking once again, whether you're a kindergarten teacher or a high school teacher. I met with the principal today and talked about having a lunch bunch with a student who has a lot of trauma and building that connection. So the teacher having lunch in the classroom, opening up the classroom to invite the student with trauma and other students in to have a lunch bunch. Opportunities, clubs. So finding, when I first started being a principal, it was tutoring. Let's find out students who need tutoring. And then personally, I had a mind shift, and professionally of we need to look beyond tutoring and what club offerings do we have. So I would tell my students, if you have an interest in a club, find an adult who will supervise and support you, and we'll have the clubs. We would have Bebe clubs and cooking clubs, and students were empowered for their idea. So it's finding connections to schools, whether it's through clubs, academics, but it's all about relationships.
I read that. It didn't take me, it wasn't hard for me to find that you feel relationships are the center of everything. That was really a quote that I pulled from, and obviously you're speaking of that now, and it's obviously reflecting in your work. So tell us, I want to know some specifics. Drill down, really tell us whether, without mentioning names, how this is applied a real life situation. These relationships where maybe somebody was maybe on the outcast and they've been brought in. You know what I'm talking about? Just so you're talking about, they weren't used to those relationships that you're talking about. So how have you brought people in to the mix?
I'll give an example, a personal example from years ago, and you're not allowed to do this, but I was a first grade teacher in Houston, Texas. I was 21 when I graduated college. I was going to change the world. This little girl didn't come to school. I couldn't figure out why, because I grew up in Iowa and you go to school and that's what you do and do what your parents say. And I decided I was going to go pick her up and bring her to school every day. You know, that threat of, if you don't come to school, I'm going to come pick you up in your pajamas. Well, I would do that.
Wow.
And picked her up. We'll come to find out her dad had another family. Her mom was dying of cirrhosis of the liver. So she was taking care of herself, didn't have clean clothes, didn't have clean socks. I said, it doesn't matter. I'll get you flip-flops. I'll get you socks. Like, we had a little cabinet in my classroom. So then everybody else is like, you have socks? I need socks. And so I would take her home with me on the weekends, which once again, you cannot do, but in 1994,
could.
That's what I did.
Yeah, we allowed it.
Yes.
Yeah, get it done.
Yes. So fast forward, my husband and I relocated to Arizona in 1998, and I got a call probably early 2000 that the little girl's dad or mother had passed. Dad was in prison in Texas, and so we hired a lawyer to go to the prison, talk to the dad to see if we could get custody. So I had it arranged. She was going to go to Willis Junior High. She was going to live with us, and Dad went and signed paperwork. But now she's a successful adult. She got her college degree. She has her own little girl. Just an amazing story. So I've got countless stories about just making those connections and being somebody in somebody's life. Everybody has trauma. Everybody has a story. So how do you not pass judgment, or how do you break down those barriers? Because you can't teach unless you build that relationship. So identifying where they are. I have another student, a family I dealt with yesterday, where when their son was in elementary school, he got kicked on the soccer field, a slide kick, and hurt his leg. Well, the mom was 9 months pregnant, didn't have a license or a car. So I picked her up with the kid screaming in my car, picked up the mom. We went to urgent care. They said, you need to go to the hospital. So we're driving to urgent care. Well, fast forward now, their third child needed assistance. So they come and find me, and then I helped facilitate. And they said, we trust you because we know you, and it's about relationships. So it just pays dividends. You can put money into the piggy bank, and then when you need to pull out the money, if you have those relationships and people know, do what you say and say what you mean, it's important. It's those basic needs.
You have to deposit first.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's the thing that a lot of teachers get right, is you guys deposit first.
Yes.
And then you cash in a little bit later.
Yes.
I want to ask you, in 2020, you were named the National Distinguished Principal. And you were represented Arizona, I'm guessing, where? Washington, D.C.? Where did they hold this?
Well, it was
big
during
meeting?
COVID,
Okay.
so I didn't get to go to
virtual.
D.C., so it was in Chicago,
Okay.
which was fantastic. But yes, it was amazing.
Why do you think they named you and put you in that role? What do you think you were doing that got their attention?
I'm a hard worker. I surround myself with great people. When I was a principal, I would always hire the best people, the best custodian, the best cafeteria manager, the best teachers, people that believed in relationships and people that believed in community. One night I was at skate night and a little girl said, why are you here? You're the lunch lady and garbage lady. I'm like, I'm actually the principal, but I do those jobs as well. So hiring people that wanted to do the same things, that were here no matter what it takes. I was fortunate. I was transferred to Hartford Elementary in 2011, and when I went there, they were a D school, and we were able to take them from a D to an A in 1 year, just based on data and transparency and relationships. So just surrounding myself with great people, having an open door policy with parents, walking the streets in the neighborhood and having those conversations. That was my best day of the week, of walking the streets, and parents would come up and be like, Mrs. Anguiano, we need to tell you this, or Mrs. Anguiano, who's not at school, you need to go to their house. Just be invisible in building those relationships.
The other thing that I would love to actually break down a little bit, I do a lot of work with teachers in the burnout space. And so I go and I put on these workshops for teachers who are burned out. And for those of you who don't know, the statistic right now says that 8% of all teachers don't experience any signs of burnout. Only 8. That means 92% of teachers are experiencing burnout on some level during the week. So now maybe we've got the attention of some parents listening to this podcast right now. What can parents start to do at home to help out teachers with that thing of burnout? Because whether they know it or not, they have more power than they think.
Communication, having a conversation with the teacher, meeting with the teacher, having two-way conversations. There's always more to the story.
Yes.
Figuring out differentiation of different kids need different things, and giving the teacher an opportunity, finding out what the teacher needs. Teaching's a hard profession. We're in a pandemic, in a crisis right now where we can't find teachers. Our pipeline for future teachers is dwindling.
And they're leaving after 3 years.
Yes.
That's the other thing. They're working 3 years and they're done. Some are tapping out after 1 year.
And what's the why? Why is this? Is it what's community?
It's pay.
It's pay.
I think it's workload.
The respect.
I think it's the respect or lack thereof.
In any of those orders, are they pretty much equal?
I think we talked about initially students and the needs of students and our better awareness of mental health and how we're addressing mental health of everyone. It's a lot. Teachers work hard and it's never ending. And teachers are people too. They go home to families and kids, and this is their profession. And hopefully they chose the profession because they love it and they have a passion. But they're people too. So they don't sleep in the closet like some people think.
Right.
So just having that respect and realizing that there's dignity. We need to recognize dignity in everybody.
Yeah, and you're trying. I'm sure you guys are trying so hard every day, but there must be days where you're like, we are sprinting uphill.
It is. And just, so many things out of our control. In Arizona, it's hot, so kids don't have recess because we're not going to send students outside with recess. So there's teachers' breaks because now they have to supervise. It's a lot.
And teachers, truthfully, I want to say this, are so impactful. I know from my life, there's at least, I referenced one the other day, at least a handful, and probably more, that I would feel that I wouldn't be sitting here today if they didn't impact my life.
None of us would.
None of us
Darwin
would.
would be here. LaShay would be here. Heather wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be here.
The things they, again, like, of course, we have different levels of education, but still, it's what you said, the relationships. It's that the one teacher that believes in you, when maybe others didn't, or again, where they're not getting that support at home or their friends, and the teacher that's that person. And so,
that's probably the biggest shift, isn't it? Like, as when I was going to school was school, but now school is community.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Now school is so much more than just the math and the science and the arts and whatever. It's like where people go to get meals.
Yes.
It's where people go to get some therapy. It's where people go to see a nurse.
Yes.
Like, it's become the community.
We need to take care of the whole child. We can't educate a child if we're not taking care of the whole child. And that includes an empty stomach or dirty socks that need to be addressed.
Right. So, what is Chandler doing right now that you really like?
Chandler, we just continue to be an amazing district. We're a district of choice. We've done a great job of providing different programs and different opportunities, so it's not a one-size-fits-all. We have programs where families can choose whether it's one of our gifted academies. We have satellite academies, looking at how do we innovate our learning. So we're rebuilding Galveston Elementary. It's our first school that we're rebuilding. So students will move into their brand new building October 8th. And then if the bond passes, we're going to rebuild Hartford, our two oldest schools. And it's nice because those are underserved and underrepresented neighborhoods. So the city's putting a lot of money into these neighborhoods. And so we're complementing the work of the city. And then we're also reimagining our school. So right now we've got 7 elementary schools that we're reimagining. So we brought in a committee of students, parents, and teachers and said, what do you want to be? If you could be anything. And we're working with an architect firm and a construction firm and really looking at how do we provide different learning opportunities. And it's great. It's great learning that's going to be impactful for a lot of students. And interestingly enough, going through this process in 7 different schools, it was never about me and my classroom. It was about how can we reimagine our school to impact all of our students. So ironically, all of our projects are focused on the media center, the technology lab, where we're breaking down walls and coming up with spaces where students can be engaged in STEM activities. So it was nice that it wasn't just me and my classroom, this is what I need. What does our school community need? And how are we forward thinking and innovative? It's amazing.
Hell yes.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Like, that is so fantastic to hear. I don't know about you, Steve, but I hated school. It was not built for me. I was an energetic, hyper kid, and it was not for me.
I would say that was true in my grammar school. I enjoyed my high school. I went to an all-boys private school, so it's kind of a sports academy, but also the academics become very, very competitive. So for me, I enjoyed
you a smart guy?
I wouldn't say that. Maybe you could, but I don't. I'm just kidding. I got through all my education. I went to so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for those teachers, the Miss Roberts, who I bring up all the time, and she's actually one of the people that I give credit for me sitting here today. She was the first teacher that thought her son was a lawyer. She was a very older, respected teacher that had been to school. And she said, Steve, you need to be a lawyer. And it was 6th grade. And from 6th grade...
It's a lot of pressure, man.
Till college.
I was 12 years old.
I was in mock trial. I was... anyways, again, the influence of the teacher. It wasn't until I did an intern at Northeastern University, went to school in Boston, that I did an intern for a law firm. And I said, this is not for me. It's not like the movies. And I shifted the business, but overall happy. But again, as we sit here, and I think like why I credit her with this today, her recognizing that maybe I was asking good questions in the class. I don't know. I mean, that's what lawyers are supposed to do. Why would she think I was a good lawyer? I didn't argue with her much. I don't know. But anyway, she gave me some inspiration, carried me through all that way. And again, I've been thinking, since we started this podcast, I've been thinking about her, and maybe that translated. So anyways, again, I'm thankful for her and many other teachers, but I think about them still.
How about the final question for Heather is, who's the teacher that you credit your career to?
Yes.
I would say Madame Berger. I had her. She was my freshman teacher in high school. She was amazing. So my mom passed away in 8th grade. I lived in a big city, and then I had to move to this small town going into freshman year. So I'm this big city girl moving to this small country town. Everybody's like, who is this girl?
Was it the town of Stark?
It was a town of Esterville.
Esterville,
Almost,
okay.
yes. So moved to this town, and Madame Berger had just moved to this town as well. And she was this flamboyant, worldly French teacher, and she just got me. So she just, I felt
got
like
her hooks in you,
and
huh?
I were two lost souls in this little town. So she was amazing.
Oh,
yes.
great. Do you guys
yes.
stay in contact still? Have you guys stay in
Well,
contact?
actually, a classmate of mine saw her at antique store a couple of months ago,
Oh,
and he
it's just-
texted me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, tell her I say
Oh,
hello."
that is- so you are in contact.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm
fantastic. I
old,
love
and
that.
she's a lot older. So
That's a
Yes.
great story. I love
is
that.
neat.
It's perfect.
That's great.
What's next for you after this chapter of your life? Have you thought about like a career after teaching, or are you not even entertaining that right now?
I don't think so. I love serving. I love nonprofits. So when I retire, I'm going to build my capacity in serving nonprofits. I love serving the community. I think things in motion stay in motion.
Yes.
So once I
Have
retire,
you ever heard of ICANN? You should check them out.
I know. I have heard of ICANN. Yes.
She knows that.
So
She's familiar.
I'll continue to serve our community in some capacity.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so happy we got to sit down and
Yeah,
talk to
absolutely. Is
you.
there anything you want to share? Did we miss anything you want to share with the audience that are watching?
I just
Okay,
appreciate
guys?
your appreciation of teachers and acknowledging their
Thank you.
hard work. And it's a hard job, and not everybody realizes that teachers are teachers because it's a passion, and just thanking them for
Our
their hard
job
work.
is to keep teachers happy, because who else do you want hanging out with your kids for 8 hours a day? You want some grumpy teacher
Right.
who's trying to make ends meet, who's trying to figure out some like social part of their life? Or do you want somebody who's taken care of, who can pay their bills, who's not bringing their baggage to the classroom every single day? And that's why, to me, it's so important that we get behind teachers in a very big way.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. It's critical.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming on and
Yes, it
sharing.
was
What
fun.
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Lots of thank yous
Yes,
going around.
right.
Tell you what, walk around the store, pick out anything you want. It's on somebody. Steve's getting up. He's done podcasting. Yeah, no, that's it, man.
Sorry, my knee was getting a little cranky there for a second.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
What's wrong with your knee?
I got bad.
There's a muscle rub right there by Max.
We were talking hockey. 2,000 plus competitive hockey games in my life, and it's just
Your problem was you tried too hard. See, when
Yeah,
I played hockey, I didn't try
tryhard.
hard enough,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was the deal.
Yeah, I was a tryhard. That's tryhard.
Well, listen, man, Heather, LaShay, Darwin, it's another good episode of the Move the Needle podcast.
Well, if we are defining our guests by what we talk about in Moving the Needle community, then again, another home run, because
Yeah.
these are three people that are absolutely moving the needle. I
Yes.
mean, in a big way.
There's more good than people think.
Way more good, and we're finding them. We're finding them all. And hey, by the way, our audience out there, if you know anybody and you're watching this podcast, we do this in different areas
Yes.
in Ahwatukee, South Tempe area, Chandler, Gilbert,
Scottsdale.
in Scottsdale, Paradise Valley. So contact us through the show, and we'd love to have you on. We're trying to find them, we want you on.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. If you're moving the needle, we want to hear about you.
That's what we say.
All right, Steve, good job.
Good job. Great
Yeah.
day. Great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank
Max,
you.
thank you.
Thank you again. And thank you, our host again, D'Vine, Denise, Andrew.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. And all our
My
guests
new
again.
favorite
Thank
store.
you. Knocked it out of the park.
You know, my favorite thing is, I'm going to take a picture and put it on my Instagram. It's this, there's a candle that she has on there. It's 4 feet long. And it's like in this hand-carved wooden pallet, for lack of a better word. and it is incredible. It's like wooden wicks. It's gorgeous.
Really? Where is it?
Right there in front
Oh,
of
that
you.
one.
Seen
Okay.
that? It looks like a skateboard.
I didn't know what that was. It looks. I thought it was.
We'll put a photo up for everybody to see, and we'll see you next time on our Move the Needle podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we'll
you
see you.
guys.